Hello everyone, it's Stephanie, your CSA coach, and it is week 11A of our CSA shares for the 2024 season. One quick announcement is that on the farm this week and next week, there's a cookbook swap. So there's two or three big tables of cookbooks out. Check them out when you go for pickup. If you have cookbooks laying around that you no longer use, bring them to swap out. If not, just grab a cookbook on the table if you are looking for some more inspiration. Jumping right into this week's share, we have basil again. Basil is one of our herbs that does not like the fridge, so take this, put it into a glass of water and leave it right on your countertop. So my basil from last week is actually doing really well, so I have this basil now. Basil makes amazing pesto. There's a creamy basil dressing on the recipes for the CSA. What else? Basil pairs really well with our fresh tomatoes. So lots of options. If you want to preserve it, my favorite way to preserve basil is to create a pesto and then freeze the pesto into little cubes so that I can just pull a couple out. And I've actually done that for friends as well who've asked me to create a pesto, and then it makes it easy for them to use it because you don't use a big, huge batch of pesto often. So basil. We have salad greens, our salad mix. Half a pound, store it just like this. Do not wash it until you're ready to use it. Once you're ready to use it, I throw in a big, either the sink full of water or a big bowl of water, swish it around, then grab the greens out and throw it in my salad spinner, spin it so it dries really well, and then dress it. It's a great base for salads. You can just leave it just like this and keep it nice and simple, or add a lot of our ingredients that we have in the share this week and make it a more heartier salad. We have tomatoes, so heirlooms and reds. These are best stored right on the counter at room temperature. Slice them up, eat them just as a snack. Slice them and serve them on top of burgers, on top of sandwiches. You can serve them with eggs. You can cut out the center and serve it stuffed. So you can do like a chicken salad or an egg salad or a tuna salad and do like a stuffed tomato. You can roast these and do a roasted tomato sauce. You can freeze them and preserve them. Or you can, if you're a big canner, we're getting a lot of tomatoes this part of the season, so you can create your canned tomatoes, either stewed tomatoes or tomato sauce or tomato puree. Also tomato soup. And I know somewhere on the blog or somewhere on the website, there is a tomato soup that's delicious. And I like making a couple batches of tomato soup this time of the year. We're not big soup eaters during the summer, but we love it in the fall and in the winter. So I'll make a big batch of soup, freeze it into different containers, and then I can just pull that out. So it's a way to preserve bounty of the farm. We also got to pick a pint of cherry tomatoes. Again, best stored on the counter, just like this. Wash them when you're ready to use them. You can just serve them as is, as a snack. You can roast them. So there's a roasted cherry tomato. I don't know if I called it a compote or what I called it. There's also a tomato jam. I forget sometimes what I call the recipes, but I'm pretty sure there's a tomato jam that is divine. If you find that on the recipes, that one's really good for if you're creating a charcuterie board. But those we generally just eat as is and snack on them as a side. So I'll wash them up and put them on the table as a snack. We have onions, sweet onions this week. They are, if they have outer coverings like this, they're cured. So we can throw them in a cool, dry place away from our potatoes, and they will last a while. Any form of onions, or our torpedo onions, our fresh onions, our regular yellow onions, our sweet onions, can all be interchanged in recipes. The flavor profile will be slightly different. So obviously a sweet onion is sweeter. But I use sweet onions in just about everything. I like roasting them. I like putting them in grill packets. You can do a whole roasted onion. That recipe is on the website. There's a caramelized onion. I think it's a caramelized onion dressing. That's really good. That's on the recipe section of our website as well. So store it in a cool, dry place as long as they have that cured outer covering. If they don't, then throw them in the fridge. We have garlic this week, so these are cured. Throw it in a cool, dry place. I have a garlic holder that I store mine in. We made pizza over the weekend, like a fresh pizza, fresh crust, homemade, and I roasted a head of garlic, and that was amazing, added as a topping on top of pizza. So just a recommendation. Garlic we add to just about everything. If you've been following me for a while, I love garlic. I usually double the garlic in any recipe. So you can add garlic to salad dressings, add garlic to your sheet pan meals, add garlic to your stir fries. Lots of ways to use garlic, but it will store just like this in a cool, dry place. We got to pick shishitos. A pint of shishitos, 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 tend to be spicy, so just pay attention to that. We kind of make it a big game in our house, so when I serve shishitos, we kind of wait for the person to get a spicy one. You can blister these. That's my favorite way to serve them. You can actually eat them raw. You can throw them into stir fries. So they make amazing stir fries. There's a pickled shishitos on the blog. I can't even remember what I've done. A bunch of different shishito pepper recipes, but simply roasted. You can grill them. You can throw them into stir fries. You can throw them into your sheet pan meals. We also have green bell peppers and Cubanelle peppers shishitos stored in the fridge. So either in a Ziploc bag or a Debbie Meyer green bag or a bowl, just like that. Peppers, same thing. So our green peppers and our Cubanelle peppers stored in your crisper drawer. These are great raw. They're great served on top of salad. They're great served as a side on dip. If you're doing a big charcuterie board, these are great just as a fresh addition to them. You can do a big veggie dip. These are also, there's a recipe on the blog for sheet pan fajitas. So we have the onions and the peppers this week. You could do sheet pan fajitas, stir fries, and grill packets. All options as well, or just eaten plain just like that. We have purple Viking potatoes. These are still on the new side of our potatoes, so not quite fully cured yet. So these get stored in the fridge for best preservation. Potatoes can be used grilled, they can be used shredded, chopped and used as hash browns. Take a look at the potato wrap recipe that just came out this season. That was fantastic. So you can interchange a lot of the different types of potatoes we get for different recipes we have on the blog. There's a potato and summer squash bake on the recipes, but these all get stored in the fridge because they're not quite fully cured yet. Roasted, grilled, fried on the top of your, you can also turn them into French fries. So if you have an air fryer, I love to make fresh air fried potatoes or French fries in my air fryer. It's just a healthier way to eat French fries. We have eggplant. Eggplant is stored in the fridge. I generally wrap it in a paper towel or like a light dish towel to keep the moisture away from it. Eggplant can be roasted. It can be turned into a sheet pan meal. It can be grilled. I'm thinking about a few different recipes with this. There is an eggplant dip that's a little bit different on the website if you're looking for something to change up. We have summer squash. Summer squash gets stored in the fridge, in the crisper drawer. You can grill it, you can eat it raw. Generally, if I eat it raw, I slice it a little bit thinner and serve it on top of my salad. You actually can serve it kind of like a cucumber. So you can slice it up and just eat it raw like that. grilled, roasted, stir fries. There's a pickled summer squash ribbon. There's a bunch. There's a pairing this with potatoes, so that's an option also. There's also, like, again, I don't remember what I called them, but I think summer squash bites maybe. So I shred it. If you still have summer squash left over from last week, think about shredding it, measuring it out, throwing it in the freezer, and that's a great addition to your chilies, your soups, or your baked goods over the winter. We have cucumbers. Cucumbers are stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. We love to eat these just raw, sliced up. I served all of the ones we still had left last night. I just threw them on the table, washed them up, sliced them, and they were gone before dinner. So we enjoy them as a snack, but there are great recipes for pickles, for a cucumber salad, and I'm pretty sure there's a cucumber salsa on there, which is a little bit different. So take a look at the recipes for that. We also got to pick hot peppers, so 3 hot peppers. This is a jalapeno, but there were a bunch of different varieties of hot peppers. Stored just like our other peppers, so in the fridge, in your crisper drawer, used to add heat to any recipe. So great for salsas, great for a chili. There's a hot pepper honey that's amazing. I make it every single year, and it's several years old, that recipe. You can make the honey and then do like a margarita or even a virgin margarita. There's a recipe for that, or there's an option for a hot pepper honey dressing, like vinaigrette, that I make often. It just adds a little bit of a different flavor to your salads. So that's there as well. If you're not going to use your hot peppers, so we'll see hot peppers probably for the next few weeks. And sometimes we don't like things super hot, so I use them sparingly. But I will chop them up and throw them in my freezer, and that's how I make hot pepper honey throughout the entire year. So I take it out and use the frozen jalapenos. Also amazing to add to chilies and to add to soups to add a little bit of heat to that. So hot peppers. Last but not least, you got to pick a watermelon, either yellow or red. What you want to do with this is throw it into your fridge immediately. It tastes amazing, nice and cold. Slice it up, eat it as a snack. That's what we do. You can grill it. You can chop it up and add it to a salad. You can serve it with a side of cottage cheese or a side of yogurt. We just prefer it as a snack, as fresh, yummy watermelon. So that is our share for this week. Remember to take a look at what you have left from last week. Try to use that up, and then focus probably on your salad greens first. And then if you have an abundance of something, how am I going to use all the tomatoes this week? How am I going to use all of my basil? Think about those things. If you have some fun recipes that you've navigated around or tried, make sure you post that on our Facebook group, and I will see you all again next Tuesday.